It's 2025. It is a new year, and that means there are new things in store for the city of Seattle. And today we're going to talk about how Seattle is shaping up in 2025 and some of the new epic things that are coming this year. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here, you're going to want to keep watching this video right here. Hey there, I'm Brennen. I'm your local go-to Seattle area realtor. There are some seriously exciting developments coming on the horizon that could totally shift the housing market and change the game for people in Seattle. So stay tuned. Let's talk about from big time transit upgrades to neighborhood transformations. In today's video, we're diving into what's coming to the Emerald City in 2025 and how that might affect your move. Stay tuned, there are gonna be 5 parts here, and I wanna know in the comments right now, what's one thing that you're looking forward to changing in the city of Seattle in 2025? Put that in the comments below right away. Number 1, let's talk transportation. So let's talk about getting around, because let's be honest, a good transit system in a city can make or break how you feel about the specific neighborhood that you live in. Now, Seattle's history has been a little bit difficult in terms of transit. We've had some good transit, but in my opinion, it could always be getting better. And I'm glad to see that the city is finally taking that more seriously, and we're going towards a future where there is going to be better transit. And top of mind there is Seattle's light rail expansions, which are on the way. And they're all about getting better connectivity and shorter commutes. And this is going to be a game changer, especially as we see people returning to the office 3 to 5 days a week. What does that mean for the housing market? Well, homes near some of these transit hubs could increase in value because they're starting to open, and there's going to be a lot of different density around Seattle if certain plans are approved, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. So this is one thing to take into consideration. Now, as a seller, if you live near a place where a light rail stop is going to open, I don't think your value is going to exponentially increase, but I do think you could see a bump in the benefits that people or buyers see by purchasing your home over, let's say, someone who's further away from the transit hub. Now, more suburbs are suddenly looking like good options because of these transit integrations or extensions that are coming, and they're giving a lot of people an ability to have more affordable options that are still accessible. So it could be a win-win for those people. Let's talk specifically about what's going to happen. The downtown Redmond link extension. So this 3.4 mile extension is expected to open in spring of 2025 this year. It'll add 2 new stations, the Marymore Village and downtown Redmond stations, and the trains will run every 10 minutes on weekdays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 5:30 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. That's 7 days a week. Now, the I-90 segment of the East Link is expected to open late 2025. The segment is going to connect Line 2 to Line 1, which is already in downtown Seattle. If you've ridden on the link recently, you know that they have redone the naming of the line to be Line 1. And so this segment is actually going to connect the east side and the Seattle side, and it's going to go across the floating bridge. Now, other developments to be aware of, the Ballard Link extension is expected to have its draft environmental impact statement published this year in 2025, and the Line 1 extension to Federal Way is scheduled for 2026. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that's going to happen in 2025. It's all about choices in your housing. On to housing. And here's the exciting part. Seattle's rolling out some new zoning plans that allow for way more options, like duplexes and triplexes in areas that used to be zoned only for single family. What's even cooler is the city is planning 24 new neighborhood hubs near these transit lines that we just talked about. Think walkable areas like coffee shops, parks, and grocery stores, just steps away in these neighborhood hubs. These changes are geared towards making housing more affordable and increasing the number of homes available or the inventory, because we do need it. Seattle is continuing to expand. The city of Seattle is aiming to add 100,000 new housing units over the next 2 decades, and this could be the start of something big, some major changes in Seattle. So if you haven't already, check out my 3-part video series on the Draft One Seattle plan, where I walk through the draft that they've gone through on these zoning changes. Now, this is going to be a big impact for current homeowners who own a single family lot that is going to be zoned differently because it could be worth more money. It's also going to impact people maybe in a negative way, they may feel, because with more dense housing, you could be living in a house with a backyard where next door you have 6 different townhomes next to you. So this is a little bit of a divisive issue, but it's definitely something to watch in 2025. Number 3, community and safety. So we're looking for a happier Seattle. So the city's not just focused on housing. Seattle's putting $28 million into equitable development initiatives and public safety, which if you've been in Seattle, it's definitely needed. That means expanded shelter services, they're looking at mental health programs, and more funding to make neighborhoods feel better to live in. Now, I can speak directly to this experience living on 3rd Avenue. Is Seattle definitely has a problem with people on the streets and needing more safe housing and more services. There are too many people out. It does feel unsafe at many different times. And so this is a big initiative. And I think that this is something that is good that the city is focusing on. Of course, it costs money, but I do believe this is really good in my opinion. Number 4 is all about sustainability and goals that can help Seattle win. So if you're all about eco-friendly initiatives, Seattle is definitely a place for you. The city's growth strategy that they're working on includes climate resiliency plans, tackling things like heat waves and flooding risks. Plus, the investment in green infrastructure might turn some of these sustainable neighborhoods into hot ticket areas for buyers to go seek out. So, of course, Seattle is on the leading edge of a lot of green initiatives, especially in the way homes are built. So this is going to continue to be a theme, I think, in 2025, where we'll see the city push towards these eco-friendly initiatives and making things more sustainable. Obviously, the resiliency plans in terms of what's happening with the climate is really important. The time I'm filming this right now, we're seeing exactly what's happening in LA with the fires. So this is something really important, especially around heat waves, flooding risk, that is important to the city. And if you've been here a while, you know that has really changed as we've seen smoke come in almost every summer, things like that. So I think that's really important and good for the city to focus on. Last but not least, number 5 is the market trends. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on this. What's happening in the housing market itself? Let's break it down a little bit. So inventory is still struggling. We are getting more newly built homes, and that's picking up speed, but we still don't have enough for all of the people who want to buy homes. So there still is a shortage of homes. Now, interest rates are a big deal. If you've seen any of my market watch videos, which you can see here, the interest rates are higher, which could ease bidding wars and the competition for buyers, which might be good news if you want to buy, but might stretch your budget as well, because that interest rate is going to be what directly impacts how much you pay monthly. So it can be a detriment to buyers as well. Now, short-term rentals, I never miss talking about these. Properties with Airbnb potential in Seattle are staying hot, as Seattle is a favorite place for travelers to come. It's really good hiking, a lot of great food. There's so much to do in Seattle, especially in this beautiful summer months. These are still a hot ticket item. So what does all this mean for you if you are thinking about buying or selling? Buyers, you need to keep an eye on the areas that are benefiting from transit projects and revitalization efforts. Some of those efforts that the city is putting in, they're putting money towards. A little forward thinking now is going to be really helpful when you think about your return on your investment later. And if you want to strategize about that, we're always happy to do that. And for sellers, you need to play up your proximity to all of the exciting stuff that's happening in Seattle. So whether that's transit, whether that's some of these city initiatives, whether that's the new zoning that could be coming, those are great selling points that you need to keep in mind. And that's a wrap on what's coming to Seattle in 2025. As you can see, there's so much happening, from exciting infrastructure updates to sustainable growth and everything in between. Whether you're planning to buy, sell, or just love staying up to date with what's shaping our city, these developments are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these changes are you most excited about? Put that in the comments below right now, or is there something else you think would be better for our Seattle futures development? Let me know what you think. Put a comment right now and let me know what you think those initiatives would be. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more updates on Seattle and the real estate market. If you're like others who have been watching us on YouTube for a while and you want to set up a strategy call, it's completely free to you. Just reach out over email. We can talk through your goals of the next 6 to 12 months as it relates to real estate, and we can set up a plan, because planning for the future is important to start right now, especially at the beginning of the new year when we know what's ahead in the market. And we'd love to help you navigate this challenging market, and we'd love to be a resource for you. So just reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.